Greetings and welcome to another episode of the TED in Your Head podcast. I am your host, Ted Moreno, certified hypnotherapist and high performance coach. And you may or may not know that as a hypnotherapist, I work at the level of the subconscious mind, the part of our mind that is down there kind of directing our behaviors. And a lot of time we don't even know that we have a large part of our mind working against us, even though consciously we want to achieve things. Very often, subconsciously, we have associations that are holding us back. As a hypnotherapist, I work with those associations to create integration of conscious and subconscious so people can be healthier, happier, and accomplish their goals, dreams, and desires. And if that sounds like something you're interested in, I'll tell you how to get in touch with me at the end of today's podcast. But for now, let's get into our topic, top 10 reasons why you might benefit from therapy. Let me tell you right off that I have a great job. I love my job. People come to me with all sorts of challenges, and let's talk about the challenges that we have in all of our lives, right? We have a lot of challenges: families, work, health, emotions. There are so many challenges. Life is hard. And through our work together, through my work with my clients, I get to see them overcome their challenges and gain more confidence, self esteem, emotional strength, and adaptability, and greater health and happiness. For many of the people who come to see me, healing comes from just oftentimes from just showing up and having that space of unconditional positive regard where they can be honest and vulnerable and be heard. What can be sad, I think, is to hear from many of my clients that they have family members or friends that are really struggling with various life challenges but are not open to talking to anybody about it. They're simply not open to therapy for one reason or another. And I get it. It's not the most comfortable thing to sit in front of someone else, much less a stranger, and tell them about your problems. There are a lot of people that are very private. Others feel that they can figure out their own problems on their own, and maybe they can or maybe they can't. Many others are so filled with shame that they can't bring themselves to reveal to someone else the burden and the pain of their feelings. On the other hand, some people have not had good experiences with therapists or therapy and have decided it's not for them. And I know what that feels like. The very first therapist I had was always struggling to stay awake during our session, which started at 8 a.m. But if I had let that stop me from going to therapy or continuing to see other therapists, I wouldn't have had the benefit from seeing a number of really awesome therapists after that. So, truth be told, therapy is not for everyone. However, just like most people can benefit from a regular program of physical exercise, I strongly feel that most people can benefit from psychotherapy, hypnotherapy, or any type of counseling from a trusted provider. We spend so much of our time on supplements, dieting, new and interesting ways to work out or exercise, new equipment, and various ways to make our bodies look different, better, or more interesting. However, I think we can agree that we're suffering from a mental health crisis in our country, in part because of the stigma surrounding seeking support in a therapeutic environment. For our overall health and benefit of our loved ones and fellow citizens, this needs to change, I feel. We must put more time, effort, and energy into our mental health, and therapy is only one good way to start. September is National Suicide Prevention Month, so in this episode, I'd like to share with you the top 10 reasons why you might benefit from therapy and why you should consider it. Number one, first and foremost, is emotional support. A good therapist provides a safe space to express feelings and experiences without judgment. The English poet John Donne wrote in 1624 the famous line, "No man is an island." That line is often interpreted to mean that people are not totally self sufficient, and we must rely on others. It also expresses the idea that people do better when they're part of a community. To unburden yourself of your thoughts, feelings, and emotions and really be heard by somebody else is liberating and incredibly empowering. We all need emotional support, but it's understandable that we may not want to share certain things with friends or relatives. A good therapist is there to listen, support, and encourage. And it feels good to have somebody that you feel cares about you and wants to help. A therapist can be an objective listener that can help you explore different ways of looking at your challenges. Number two, coping strategies. As I mentioned before, life is hard, sometimes really hard. As human beings, we will experience stress, anxiety, depression, grief, loss, and situations that we don't know how to deal with. Therapy can help you develop effective coping mechanisms during these difficult times. I was working one time with a young man who was on the edge of feeling suicidal. His brother had died a few months previous. He was staying in his room all day playing video games. I suggested to start that he eat 3 meals a day and get better sleep. My suggestion that he do these two simple things made him feel better immediately and helped him to better cope with his grief. Now, there was a lot of other things I had him do, a lot of other good work that we did, but just those basic suggestions about taking better care of himself helped him to cope better with what he was going through. There are many times when I've suggested different coping strategies for clients just to hear them say, I never thought about that before, and then to use those strategies to feel better. Number three is self understanding, which is another benefit of therapy. Talking out loud about what's stopping you from happiness, health, and success allows you to examine what might be holding you back. We're unable to see ourselves objectively, and we all have blind spots to our own motivations, desires, and dysfunctional behaviors. Seeing a therapist can offer insight into your thoughts, behaviors, and patterns, helping you to understand yourself better. The ancient Greek philosopher Socrates believed that know thyself was the first step to true wisdom, and therapy is a way to get to know yourself better. Number four, one of the most common reasons people seek therapy is to improve their relationships. Being in relationship with anybody is never always easy and often fraught with difficulties. The more intimate the relationship, the more difficulties there can be. And I believe that the quality of our lives is in a large part determined by the quality of our relationships. It's very difficult to be happy and successful if one's marriage is in danger of failing, or if you can't stand being in the same room as your mother or father or siblings. One of the things we can learn in therapy is how to respond to other people rather than react, and how to have better communication skills that help us navigate personal relationships more effectively. Number five, goal setting. A therapist can assist you in setting and achieving personal or professional goals, including the basics of better health, being better at work, and better at home. The truth is that most folks don't set goals at all. Being as how you can't hit a target that you can't see, goal setting in some form is essential for accomplishing what you need to accomplish to get what you want from life. Number six, processing trauma. If you've experienced trauma, and many of us have, therapy can help you process and heal from those traumatic experiences. When we've had traumatic experiences, we have a tendency to repress them, not think about them, and not deal with them because it's painful. But to heal, we must be willing to be with that wounded part of ourself and give it the attention and care that it needs. Number seven, mental health management. Regular therapy sessions can help people manage chronic mental health conditions and maintain stability. Just like going to the medical doctor for an illness or accident or disease, a good therapist can be invaluable in helping people to manage illnesses of the mind, sometimes with the help of medication, but oftentimes not. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, 20% of Americans are living with a mental illness. That's 57 million Americans as of 2021. Number eight, life transitions. A job change or loss, a move to a different city or even a different house, A personal loss, divorce, or retirement are all examples of life transitions that can be overwhelming and confusing. Therapy can provide support during major life transitions and provide strategies, ideas, and possibilities and resources that you might not be able to find on your own. Life transitions are just a lot easier with support from family, friends, and therapy. Number 9, increased resilience. We want to learn how to bounce back from hard times. We want to get better at dealing with life and its ups and downs. Therapy can help people gain greater confidence and trust in themselves so that they can overcome challenges more effectively and not be stopped or brought down for too long. Number 10, accountability. Having someone to talk to can encourage and motivate you to stay committed to your personal growth and self development. You get to have an accountability partner who will ask you, "What did you do this past week to move forward?" Don't underestimate the value of being held accountable, even though it's easier not to be held accountable, right? In closing, therapy doesn't need to last months or years, even though it can. For some people, 3 or 4 sessions with a therapist can be illuminating and helpful. I myself see clients anywhere from 1 session to clients that I've been seeing once a month for 10 years. It all depends on what you need and what you want to accomplish. I'm a hypnotherapist. I'm not a psychologist, psychotherapist, or psychiatrist. I'm not a doctor. There are certain issues that I'm not qualified to work with, and I will refer my clients with those issues to people that are qualified. I do a lot of work with anxiety, sleep issues, and getting rid of bad habits. And I've been doing this for 20 years, and I'm still learning, both about myself and how best to help others. If you'd like to talk, you can reach out to me for a complimentary consultation at tedmoreno.com/contact. And if you are in crisis, you can reach the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline by calling or texting 988, or you can text the Crisis Text Line by texting HOME, HOME, to 741-741. If you know somebody in crisis, please give them these very important numbers, and you might just be saving their life. Thank you so much for listening. And please take good care of your body and take good care of your mind. Bye.